We are almost starting, so please come closer. When in doubt, come closer. The perfect places, the safest places are in front. You think, I'll stay in the back. No one will see me, especially not her. But I do. I can only see people at the back. So are you sure that you will stay there? Maybe, yeah? Okay. So let's start with some music. Come on! Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, young and old and everything in between. This is the starting session of the conference of OEB. 30 years of OEB. And we wonder, why is it so successful? Is it because of us? Of course. It's because of all of us, which is why we have this session. This is the learning battle, or the open mic for a learning stage. And we do this session, and everybody, well, frequently I get asked, what is this session about? It's informal. It's adventurous. Why is it so? To build a community. Because if it's your first time here, it can be scary, right? Who is first time? So know that once you go back home after this conference, you will have joined a community that is authentically happy when they see you. And it's really true. Take my word for it, or your own. Now, the purpose is, of course, building the community, but how do we do this with this session? Well, there are 4 simple guidelines to bring all of us closer together, to show who you are. Because I don't know whether you did this, but if you scroll through the OEB and you look at the pictures and you think, Helga Helgason, title executive, doing learning research. It says something, but it doesn't say whether you like Helga Helgason. So this is the moment to say, look, I am, let's make it Hilgo, and I am a wonderful person, and I will tell you why. So, and then people will listen. They will honestly listen. And if you're in doubt whether you would have the courage to come on stage, I am your supporter, okay? I played rugby. I've got your back. So 4 rules, and then I will call out for volunteers. The 4 rules are, I will ask for volunteers, and then you raise your hands. Let's just check whether we can all raise our hands. Hands up. Yes, yes, this works. Perfect. Then I will point to someone and say, yes, please, you wonderful volunteer, come to the stage. And there's a little step here. This is the safe step. You can also just do a salto right up the stage if you can. I'm open to it. And then you take the mic and you say, this is my name, and I will talk about this learning topic. So any topic, as long as it is even slightly related to learning, is a good topic. And then your pitch starts, and you will have a clock there, 3 minutes. You try to share what excited you, the learning approach that you most loved last year. The learning technology that transformed your world, it can be your own learning technology, that's okay. But after 3 minutes, you stop, or earlier, that's also allowed. If by any chance you think, this is my moment, finally I have a stage, I will keep on standing here until everybody falls asleep. No. Then I will no longer be your guardian. Then I'll just take you away from the microphone, and that's okay as well. Now, of course, anybody can share a story about learning. But then we need to test it. We're all into assessments or evaluations or looking for the deeper meaning. And so after a 3-minute pitch, we say, yes, is there someone with a question to this person who has spoken? One question to just test them. Is this person for real? And then the speaker responds, of course I can answer. Gives an answer. After that, so 3-minute pitch, question and answer, we do a voting. Now the voting is with an applause meter. Please, show us the applause meter. Wait. Yes! 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 Yay! Absolutely. And now you can see there was a maximum 88. And my fabulous assistant, actually the most fabulous person of OEB organization is Rosa. Yeah. And so she will take note, aha, the speaker has this name, and their maximum is 88. And at the end, after an hour long of exciting narratives, sharing what we do, she will announce the winner. And the winner can take this home. Indeed. It's a secret. And it is, let me just share one tiny thing. It will be a challenge on a plane. Now, you really want it, right? And if you win, you will also be given exposure in OEB magazine. You will get an article. You will be videoed and interviewed, shared on the World Wide Web via social media. Who doesn't want to win this session? So, with this being said, we are going to look for the first volunteer. You can feel it, yeah. You can feel the anxiety. And, maybe I can. It's very simple. Looking for volunteers, raise hands. Okay, let's start with the back. That person there, please, come. Excited.
3 minutes, here we go. Hello,
first
everyone.
Name.
Max. I'm coming from Stella.code, and now I've got 2 minutes, 57 seconds. I've got a little experiment for you. I want you to look for everything in this room that's red. Just for a second. Everything that you can see that is red. All right? Now close your eyes. Everyone. Thank you. And now think of everything that you saw that was blue. Close your eyes. Now open your eyes again. Probably it was hard for you to come up with things that were blue, right? Now look everything that's blue in here. I know this is not as many things as red. Some of you might have called this red as well, that is orange. But the question that I asked kind of determined the answer you got. I asked you to look for red and you found red. I asked you to find blue and you found blue. Now, the question that we ask ourselves all the time determines the answers we get. And we humans, we tend to ask very negative questions usually. This comes from our evolution because we had to ask, For what reasons do I need to prepare? Because I might be killed or eaten by a tiger. Now, this is a long time ago. We don't need to be worried about that anymore. But we tend to ask ourselves the same questions. So what we do is, at Stella, we developed a coach that asks you better questions every day. Now, coaching is something that typically top executives would have. So if you're like the C-level of a company, you might have a personal coach. But for 95% of people, they don't have a personal coach that asks them good questions every day. Now, Stella is your first virtual coach that is almost like a buddy for you, that just asks you different questions. And by these questions, you can actually achieve more. So, actually, I thought I'm going to need more time. I have 1 minute left, but I have one last question for you. How loud can you clap?
Who has a question? A question?
What
Yes.
is the best question the personal coach asked you? Or can you share some questions that you think are worthwhile mentioning?
I think in my very personal way, it would be like, why can it work? Because I tend to find a lot of answers why something couldn't work, and just the question, why could it work, sometimes brings you to new answers. So there are different questions depending on where you are in your journey, and this is what a good coach does. A good coach never tells you what to do. He just knows what questions you ask yourself, and you yourself come to the right conclusions then. And very often this is just reframing situations. Okay, something happened, and you can think, why the hell did that happen to me? Or you can ask yourself, what am I going to learn from that? What am I going to take from that? So this is just a mindset shift. But in my personal way, it's like, why could that actually work?
Okay, now we go to the official applause meter. Thank you very much, Max. You opened the floor, so you see it's easy. Nothing to it. We're all in this together. It's a safe space. You have me. So now, the next speaker, please. Shahira? It were two people in front, so I couldn't take the... Please, in a minute, dare to show hands. It's safe, you will see. Please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shahira, and I'm an instructional designer. Most of you know what that means, and people are cheering here, but that's not what happens to me every day. 10 days ago, I had a challenge. I was coaching for a longer period of time PhD students for them to be on stage to present their thesis in 3 minutes. And this is a completely coincidence. And hats off to them because they knew how to do this in 3 minutes. I kind of know it's not going to be working. But let's not go away from what I was talking about. I told them I'm an instructional designer. These are smart people doing research. They had no idea about what that was. But then it's actually something that is outside of my comfort zone. I help teachers teaching stuff to do better courses that are more meaningful, and to make sense of all the technologies they try using. With this group, it was not about that. It was about how to present your thesis in 3 minutes. And here are 3 challenges I found. It was not the language. All of them had perfect English language. It was actually the way they wanted to express their passion about their research. The second challenge was about the question, how am I supposed to put 3 years of my life into 3 minutes? And the third one was actually, I'm an introvert, and I don't want to be on the stage screaming out loud what I do. So while coaching them, and trust me, for the subjects they didn't need any coaching, we just realized that we learned from each other. And all these 3 questions may not have been resolved through then, but what I saw happened at the end when they went on stage is a development, going away from having to cram everything they learned in 3 minutes, but choosing very consciously to present what is most important to them. What did I learn as an instructional designer? It's not about the tools that you're working with, but it's about what is it as a teacher that you want to convey to your students. You might have heard this a long time ago here at many places, but I think what we do need are more spaces to make this happen. So next time maybe you're talking to someone about your job, be it instructional design or not, try not to convince them about the tools, but why they're doing it, and you find the how and the way to their heart.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
A question for Shahira? Question her, yes. Let's test her. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yes.
How much time did you invest for the coaching for each student? In minutes, hours?
Actually, it was a group. We started at 8, and then somebody decided to pull out. And so we had a group sessions. I met them 4 times, every time 2 hours. And very few of them required more pace, like one-to-one coaching, but was very specific because they had very high standards. And they're actually academics used to do presentations, but that type. So yeah, I was lucky enough that my employer said, take the time. This is a good investment in yourself and our students.
Thanks a lot. It's a great story.
Thank you.
So, applause. Yay!
Thank you.
So you see, you can just, that's what I like about this session. Anybody can take the stage. You don't need to prepare, you just need the willingness to share. Now, you can feel it, you know it. I already see people like arms going that way. Scratching head, very dangerous there, sir. Volunteer 3. Yes, please, come to the stage. Feel free to take the mic and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Dongjin. I'm from Korea, and I want to talk the technology as a tool, because technology is the thing that everyone can use. So whether you are old or young, whether you are in Asia or Europe, it is available to everyone. And I see this potential in the developing countries context especially, because my parents are missionaries and they try to build education system in Cambodia. And I see there are so many people who want to learn something, but they cannot really learn because there is no school, there is no textbook, and there's no material at all. And technology, for example, AI or YouTube, those kind of things, when they become really available everywhere in the world, it can provide the minimum basis for them to start. So once they have begun, they can really move on. Depending on their interest, they can learn whatever they want. So they can explore more technical side or more fundamental concept. But technology, that for example, we have conference here today, and if that is recorded and it can be shared throughout the world, then everyone in the world can have the same understanding that we have in this room. And I really like that thing, and technology is a useful tool that we can make it available. To do this, and I think we need more technological development in the societies where they do not have infrastructure. For example, in African countries or Southeast Asian countries, they have not enough technological tools they can use. So here, now we are in Europe, and we have a bit more advanced technological tools, and I think it is a good idea to share, and I think that is a good investment for the future. So like every investment, we need to pay some price. So this kind of infrastructure building and others, it of course has the sunk cost, which is we need to put at the beginning. But later, when there are more people who grow from those countries where they didn't have the background, so their fathers couldn't really study, but their sons and daughters, they could study, then I think that will be the better advancement for humanity. And I think this is not only the technical development, but the development of the humankind itself. So I suggest technology as a tool, universal education as the fundamental concept. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Any questions? No question?
Oh, there, yes.
What do you think would be a very effective way of redistributing the cost of technology or devices to get them to the right hands?
So I think there are two different ways. First of all, there is hardware. So there are some people who cannot even have a mobile phone. In that case, I think it's better to government to distribute the minimum standard of the functioning mobile phone. But other than that, more importantly, I think technology itself is important. So for example, for watching something, we have YouTube, but I think that's not even enough. So if there is any educational platform that everyone in the world can share, so the inventor of this kind of platform must get the Nobel Prize, I think.
Okay. Thank you. So now, applause. Thank you. You feel the vibe. People are scared and running away. So, yes, please. I didn't even have to pose the question. I salute you, dear courage person. I'll give you the mic, please.
Perfect. All right, I'm Jan, but actually I'm ChatGPT now because I used it to maybe win this competition. Let's see. Imagine this. Learning isn't something you do. It's something that happens to you. You wake up and knowledge just sticks. It's effortless, exciting, and transformative, you know this word. That's the future I'm going to share in this short pitch. Learning isn't broken because of the access to it or the motivation that students have. It's broken because it's boring. Students spend hours on social media every day, and 80% of the learning content that they get taught in school fails to hold track in their brains. Why? Because we are still teaching in yesterday's worlds. Classrooms are linear, but the world is fast, it's addictive, and it's interactive. So what if learning felt like scrolling on TikTok? It would be quick, it would be personalized, it would be impossible to put down your phone. And that's the idea, and I gave it the creative name of cognitive clicks. It's not a tool, it's a method, and think literally TikTok for your brain. It's hyper interactive, the content is AI curated, and it's bite-sized learning moments. How does it work? You studying biology, and you get a 30-second AI-powered video on DNA. And then you get a quick game, you answer right, you unlock the next step, the next scroll, and step by step it builds, it's fast, it's gamified, and it's addictive. Learning feels like a play. So what is the impact? What if education wasn't about skills, but it's about building habits that last a lifetime? The habit of scrolling on TikTok, but you're not actually wasting your time and frying your brain, but you're learning for the future.
Okay, nice. So, clearly, there are questions. Yes?
And I'm sorry for this. I would never have my phone on stage
No,
when I talk.
brilliant, brilliant. Yes,
Be honest with me. How much do you retain from everything you're scrolling through? And not scrolling is not an option, because I'm assuming you're scrolling. How much do you retain?
I would like to ask this question here, but
Now, you're
I am.
ChatGPT.
Let's put myself in the shoes. Ideally, the AI, you get a task based on the knowledge in the video you just saw, and your job is to answer it correctly, and it integrates these learning mechanisms like active recall and spaced repetition, so it shows you similar content over and over again to reinforce. And that's not like TikTok where you watch something and you forget it 10 minutes later because you don't recall it, but the content gets curated over and over again.
Okay, nice.
All right. And if there's anyone who want to build this idea, because I find it interesting, it would be cool.
Yeah.
So if you get a big applause now, maybe we can build it together.
So, applause. Thank you. Thank you. So we had a product, an experience, a bigger societal view of technology, and using the latest tools. How cool is that? So, you know what I'm gonna ask? Okay, hands up, but yep, wait. Male was female first, then going back to yes? Please, take the stage. All the enthusiasm. Really, she lighted up the room as she could come here. That's the feeling you get.
Exactly. Hello, I'm Sonrijn, and I want to share a personal learning story. So I hope you will enjoy it. This story really opened my eyes to see that I really enjoy learning new things, aside from the school system. So around the beginning of the year, one of my best friends found an old letter in her family home. And their home has been in her family for years and years. And in this letter, she saw my last name written at the end of the letter. So she texted me like, "Are we related? What is happening?" So we both went to our house and we looked at our heritage and see maybe we are related. And the funny thing was, my grandfather was there as well on Sunday, and we spent the entire afternoon looking at our heritage. And it turned out we are in fact related. Oh. So back in the 17th century, it took a long time to find this out, but it's 8 generations ago there was a similar, we have a similar grandfather, yeah. And it was one of the fun experiences to learn this year. So that's what I wanted to share.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah. And it's beginning to be a running joke between us that we are related and that we think so much alike.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So, not sure whether I would ask question or similarities? Someone who wants to add something?
Somebody right there? Yeah.
Yes.
Again. Did you actually try to use some of the official tools to check your heritage?
And no, it was really like, luckily both our families have like this heritage book, so we could both like, it was really offline, and luckily somebody in our families did the work to get this all in print on paper, because the online tools, I don't know if we would have found out, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so applause! Well done. I love it. Maybe we are all related. I mean, so, and now I was very blunt to the gentleman in front, because first I said, yes, you can. He almost lifted in and I said, no, I'm going with someone else, so please, feel free to take the floor.
minutes. Hello, my name's Dr. Andy Clegg. I'm Head of Academic Development at the University of Portsmouth. So for the next minute, I'm going to be your therapist. Can we turn the lights down a little bit, please? So I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to establish the why and the what. So yes or no answers in your head to the following questions about learning and teaching and how it's supported at universities. Do you find yourself increasingly delivery focused? Are you fixated on content? Do you have a serious engagement issue with your students post-COVID? Do you find yourself delivering and designing modules in isolation, willing for the connectedness and collaboration with your colleagues because you work in a little silo? How many people said yes to most of those questions? Or it resonated, that young lady? And the rest of you? Okay, you're working in a higher education sector that's better than mine, because it is a very challenging space. That is the why. Because we at Portsmouth had similar heritage. We have a similar legacy. We are too content fixated. We are too focused as a sector on delivering higher education. Do I look like Amazon? Do I look like Deliveroo? Do I Uber teach? No, but we have this fixation that students are just going to roll in and we are going to deliver content. If you said yes to my questions, you need a refresh. It's time to think again. Join the revolution, my friends, and start again. That's what we have done at Portsmouth. We have created safe spaces, bold spaces for staff to engage via our learning design framework called Enable. And Enable is a learning design framework where you control the narrative. We are like accident and emergency. You come to us with a problem, and we're like the first aiders. We will triage you and identify your problem. And you may need an aspirin. Fine, you'll have an aspirin. But you may need surgery. So come and do a full-day learning design workshop. We can rebuild you. Steve Austin, I was going to say Steve Austin, but you won't get that. The Bionic Man, we can rebuild you. We have many digital technologies that can help, okay? So, it's created a safe space. We've got staff on board, and we don't talk about innovation, we don't talk about excellence, because if colleagues hear those words anymore, we turn them off. They don't like it. So our simple mantra at Portsmouth is, teach well, consistently well. Every time, every student, every session. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Question. Who has a question? Yes.
Yes, you.
Yes. You can also scream. I will just give you the mic back.
So I won't scream. How do you deal with teachers that don't see the problem, but their students do see a problem?
You have them as well. Jolly good. Yes. We have turned our learning design framework into Heineken. I'm just waiting for you know where I'm going next with that answer. It's a learning design framework that reaches those lecturers that other learning design works can't reach. And we've done it by creating safe spaces for staff to engage. They want to engage. They have a desperate desire to engage, but they're what I call academically frail. They are governed and fixated by a metric-driven system that does not allow innovation and creativity for the risk of failure and the impact that would have on performance management and other things. So the revolution is not just about how we teach, but it's about the processes that support us as well, and how we encourage more people to teach well, consistently well. In the UK, it makes me sound like Marks and Spencer's. Oh, you know that. There you go.
Thank you. So, applause. So now, before I ask for new volunteers, I will share a bit of psychology. Tonight, you lay in your bed, you think about your day, and you think, darn, I should have gone up that stage. I missed the ideal opportunity to be bright, to connect with people. I know you will. And now maybe you think, no, I'm a sound sleeper, I just go lie down. Not tonight. Unless you raise your hands. Right now. Yes, up. Yes, it's working. Like, first one, then in a minute, and then back to you. Yes, I already applaud you.
I have a question to ask rather than a story to tell. How many times did you look at your phone during the session? 1 time? Raise your hand. 2 times? 3 times? Are you maybe the ones that didn't look at all? Wow, quite a few ones. Oh, I like this row there. I actually had an experience a few weeks back where a bachelor student presented her thesis about Canvas notifications and how students perceive them or how students are distracted by them. And the surprising answer was that they wanted to receive notifications. And for me, that was why do they want to receive notifications? And their comment was, or a lot of comments were, yeah, well, it's from university. You know, I don't want to miss any information. Like, what if there's a grade? What if, I don't know, there's a change in schedule? And in the bachelor presentation, the student said that was a big thing that students came up with, this fear of missing out, fear of missing information. And my question was, okay, I understand that you want to be up to date with your own university kind of experience, that you want to be up to date with your course schedule, but what happens to your life when you look at your phone? What happens to the moments where you maybe laugh with a friend and then, whoo, suddenly there's a notification? What happens to the little moments that you don't really enjoy because you get distracted? How can we help our students and ourselves to be not distracted by the information, but still get all the important information?
Well, nice. So, question, comments, raise hands so we can see.
Experiences?
Experiences? Yes.
Do you have an idea on how to do it? How a random thought? What would you do?
I would probably have work hours. So the difference between my study life and my working life now was that I have a 9 to 5 or whatever. So I actually have a work phone where I have my work notifications and a personal phone. So for me, it's very easy to, kind of separate these two things. And that helps me in kind of, having these little experiences in my life that are from me and my experiences and not from my work. And I think we should do the same with students. But then again, I hear often, but the student experience is so integrated. You are a student, you know. I mean, I'm also an education innovator. That's also me, but I still try to separate that.
Nice. Applause. Nice. Now I saw an eager hand. Yes, please take the stage. Drink something first. It was water, I'm guessing, or vodka. Well, just, sometimes, be careful.
I can confirm it was water, not vodka. Frankly, I'm absolutely pissed with the education system. It's agitating at this point. I'm 24 years old, and you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? He's barely lived half his life. Why is exclusivity the measure of success in education in higher institutes and not accessibility? We limit 2 ways restricting students, potential great minds, future Einsteins, so people who could cure cancer. One, by focusing on grades that, to be honest, until a few years ago was based completely on rote memorization. Someone could remember well, get top grades, they get into Harvard, MIT. And two, by learning design, inclusivity. Did you know 20% of the world is neurodiverse? And about 35% of the world has some kind of disability, including they're deaf. By the way, I am a deaf person. Probably wouldn't realize a lot of the people that are hanging out with me. I dropped out of school when I was 12 because it just wasn't made for me. Because it was so boring, I wanted to go out, build, and solve a problem. And do you know what saved my life? Games. So I want to show off hands from people who here have played games. This is about 98% of the room, and who here actively plays games on a weekly basis. Okay, we've come the number down to 60%. I created a startup when I was 16 called Protagonist Pro, where we used gamification to empower young people to solve future problems. Did you know that engagement increases by 70% just by adding gamification element? And memorization increases by 20%. So why do we, in this still age with AI and LLMs, 21st century education, when we talk about it, are not implementing gamification? And to be honest, it's not just for kids, because my startup was acquired by IBM that are using the same product for their global leadership training program, which is absurd to me. And that goes to show that games can also save adults. It can take us out of depression. It can help us deal with the big challenges in life. And it makes us very creative. Problem solving increases by 58% just by putting gamification elements to it. So I leave with, next time you teach someone, ask them not what they want to be when they grow up, but what problem they want to solve, and give them games. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait. Who has a... there's a microphone coming your way. Yes.
Thank you very much. You mentioned all the benefits. What do you do with the addiction problem?
Nice.
It's a great one. So this is why, instead of looking and restricting stuff, we create an environment where we give the admin control to the parents, or in some cases teachers or professionals, where they can navigate and limit certain access to it. You don't have to give them just any games, you know? The whole point, and the first skill we taught through gamification was self-control, right? It's not a skill, it's what people call soft skills. I think it's one of the most important skills in life. We spend ages, like the first 20s, procrastinating, the late 30s thinking, oh my God, I'm getting midlife crisis. And then maybe some of us do well. Great, good on you. But self-control was never taught in school. So that was the first thing we did, which helped, obviously, allow our users to get engaged and understand the limitation. But the other thing is also you give admin controls and put certain limitations. Addiction is real, and there's certain ways of dealing it. And games and gamification is a great way to deal with it.
So, applause! Thank you.
Best not to trip off the stage.
Yes, I believe you. Oh, there are steps here as well for those. Yes, I only saw those ones. Dear madam, are you still up for it? Please. Come and take the stage. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Marlies Gratian. I happen to also work in higher education in the UK. But that's not what this story is about. So in 2022, I sat next to my husband and we had ChatGPT open for the very first time. And we did some experiments and I looked at him and I said, do you know what this means? Every bit of qualitative data has now become quantifiable. And I was super excited about this. I studied linguistics, and the reason I studied linguistics was because I thought, you know, that's the only type of arts humanities topic that does something with statistics. I was really, really happy about this. I thought, oh, you know, what is this going to do? And he looked at me and went, what? For me, that moment has really created an itch. There's something I want to solve. And the thing I want to solve is around self-directed learning. I've always had this idea as instructional designers that we sort of, when we do learning analytics, we sort of measure, you know, you hear the navigation device going, the learner's going left, they're going left. They're going right now, but we have no idea where on the map they are. So that data doesn't mean anything. And one of the things that we could do with AI is create this map, this territory. But in order to do that, you actually need to know a little bit of math. So that's not really something I'm very good at. Just to note, I also have a degree in art history, which is neither linguistics or art history are going to help me here. So I've decided to really think about, okay, there was this commercial in the Netherlands, which was a betere wereld begint bij jezelf, a better world starts with yourself. So in order to solve this self-directed problem, I have started, and I've only done 3 lectures, so please don't ask me any maths questions after this, but I've started doing the MIT OpenCourseWare on linear algebra.
Oh, yeah.
You get nerdy, and it's an itch I really want to scratch. It's something I want to find out. I'm curious. So mapping my own journey is going to help me really think about this and talk to people at this conference who know more about maths than I do. So please, if you know maths, speak to me at the conference. Thank you.
Yeah. Questions or immediate actions? Wait. Sorry, this is not my phone. This is my glucose sensor telling me you're excited again. Yes, I am. Questions, please. Yes. Oh, I'll return.
So you have expertise in mathematics, and I wonder, for technology to be used, should we all understand mathematics, or is there any easier tool that we can simply use technology?
I don't think we all have to know mathematics. I think for me, from a creative thinking perspective, I think sometimes you get to new ideas when you understand the underlying principles better. And for me, it's something I've always wanted to learn, actually. It's the only exam I failed in high school, and it's something where I really went, okay, I need to know this, I need to understand this better in order to then be able to have those conversations. But no, you don't need to know maths in order to make a difference in that space. But I think it does help you understand how other people look at it. The way I'm approaching it is, because I've got this language background, is as a language, and maths essentially is a way of codifying or a way of talking about reality. And that really excites me.
Thank you. So, applause. Thank you. Now let me look at the time. Okay. Remember, this is waving Two waving hands. I'll start. First, the green-sleeved person in the back, then the wonderfully groomed, glasses-wearing person in front. Yes? Prepare. You can beat him.
Hello, my name is Garnet, and I am going to raise the controversial topic of how do we save education from ChatGPT. So to start off with, ghostwriting. Who knows what ghostwriting is? Raise your hands. Right, most of you, some not. So just to define that, it's when a student hires somebody else to do their own work, and they submit that as their own work, which is not theirs. And we all know currently the power of ChatGPT, where a student can just simply prompt and get their assignment written for them, and they can submit it as their own. But what people haven't put together, the link, that this is actually ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is when you're taking, the difference is that you have, one is paid, you're paying somebody, the other one is simply a prompt. So they're the same problem. So how do we solve this? Well, before we do this, the problem with education at the moment is that, do we actually know what we're assessing? Do we actually know if the student has written it? Is this written by the student's own original writing, or is this coming from ChatGPT, or from somebody they've paid? So how do we solve this problem? Well, it's actually, I was a teacher many years ago, and I had a little student called Johnny. And Johnny, he went from a D grade student to a doctorate overnight. It was amazing, right? And we've all probably seen this. But how did I know? Because I compared his work from his previous work. I knew Johnny. I knew him as a student. So what did I do to confirm or validate? I went and had a conversation with Johnny. And I said, Johnny, do you see this part here? Tell me a little bit more about what you were talking about here. I don't know, sir. Because he didn't write it, right? What if I told you that that is the solution, but we actually have solved this at Norvalid? Our solution is to do this at scale. So we have a talk tomorrow, and you can come along and I'll tell you the full picture. Thank you.
Okay. So, question? Yes? In front?
How do you make the fallibility of AI the learning opportunity? AI is not perfect, and what you're talking about is getting students to create work in AI, then they critique the AI-generated output, and then use that as a learning opportunity, because if they understand the topic, they should be able to tell you where the AI has got it wrong, and then their exercise, their assessment is put it right. So you turn the AI from a foe to your ally.
Yeah, I think we're not prescriptive. We think that there's opportunities in education where you're going to have AI, as you say, as part of the assessment, and you flip it to get the students to write an AI and critique it. But there's actually going to be cases where it's still important to take AI out of the conversation because, you know, mathematics, we need to take the calculator sometimes out of the math exam to test their knowledge of core mathematics still. So there's this range of going from no AI to full AI and the bits in between. And I think that there's space for that, all of that in education. And what we're trying to do is in those cases where you need to authenticate that user to make sure when they graduate with that certificate that it means something, that you're assessing them, not their ability to prompt, then that's where we come into play.
Okay. Applause. Now, it's always true that we keep the best for last. No pressure there. The last speaker is kindly invited to take the stage and swoop us off our feet. Yeah, you can do it. I'm your fan. I am.
My chest thumping. Oh, it's good to be back in Berlin. The last time I was here, I was arrested and put in a cell. And so, memories. Yes, my ticket, I was on a train and my ticket had expired about 3 minutes before. And so I was arrested with a Dutch man who had drugs on his person. Of course, he was let go, and I was taken to the police, where lots of things happened that I don't want to get into. In the beginning of my third semester of my master program, the University of Stuttgart, sent me an email saying, hey, the scholarship we gave you at the beginning of your study, well, we found out that it was a glitch in the system. And so can you pay the tuition from the first semester up until now? Also, we give you 2 weeks, because you don't do that, then you're exmatriculated. I was an international student from Ghana. First-generation student as well. And the only reason why I am here today is because my professors, they pulled together and they got me out of the situation. There's one of them taking a video of me right now, over there.
Hey!
They pulled together, had meetings about it, said, hey, how are we going to get her out of this situation? Because she's a good student and we want to keep her. And so this brings me to why I'm standing here today. Everywhere I go, I try to be an advocate for first-generation students, because it is the professors who will help them. It's the teachers who will help them be where they want to be. There's no help from home. All they can do is give passive support. But the professors, you have a relationship with the students that is different from what they have at home. And so if you actually help them, if you look beyond learning, if you look beyond teaching and actually help the students, give them the platforms that they deserve, you would have the students that you want to talk about, the students that you want to stand on the stage and say, this is someone I tutored, this is one of my students. You are the ones who help to make these students. And so like the way my professors came through for me, they pulled together and helped me in a country where, there's lots of racism happening everywhere. International students have lots of problems that I won't get into right now. But the fact that my professors pulled through and then they helped me, and now I have my master's degree, I have a family, I have a son, I'm living a good life, and it's all because my professors took a chance on me. So please take a chance on your students. They look up to you. There's good in them. Take a chance on them. And that's what I want to say today. Thank you.
Wait. Questions, comments, additions? Yes, please.
My name is Candy Odisei.
Yes. Well, think closely now before starting the action you gave throughout the session. Reflect. What do you want to happen? And then applaud. Yay! Woohoo! Yes. Candy, thank you very much. So now you heard all the speakers, and as Rosa is going through the list of speakers and their maximums, I'm just a small question. Did you feel inspired? Please raise hands. Inspired by the session? Yes. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. If by tonight you go to bed and you feel very sad because you didn't come on stage, that's okay. You have another moment to shine each time you meet any one of us and just say, you did great. And I saw you in the session, fabulous. It's a little piece of magic that can make the difference. So now, Rosa, please join the stage and reveal. Yes, I will give you. Change slides, very important. Please.
Then you want to read it?
Of course. Well, just the winner. So,
Go through all of them?
no. Who is the winner? And the winner of tonight's session. I will do the same. Hands. Please rise and come to the stage, Candy! Yeah! The verge of realizing something, but you don't need to take the plane, right? Okay. Because it could have been suddenly very painful as I reveal what you will get. Da, da, da. Ta-da! Please take home this cup. It's almost real gold. Learning Battle 2024 for you, Candy. Please. And now, the audience probably got it before I got it. Candy. Please. That's all. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're welcome. Did we take a picture of Candy, Rosa? Ah, we have, because you're going to be famous now. No, we're going to write an art, well, not me, but we, like, what, are you looking for the, oh, why am I have to, sorry. Okay, yes. You will take a picture, and then, as you know, tomorrow there's like a petite fête, a little party, and I hope you will join us. I've been practicing dancing. Look, okay? So if you want to see more than this, come tomorrow to the party. Is it, yes? Oh, you're right. I mean, come on. The Learning Battle, yeah. Oh, yes. Can I, is it okay?
Yes, I'm honored.
Yay! Wonderful. You did well. I'm happy. So now you're relieved to go if... I think the moderator deserves a big applause. Thank you. Thank you.